So hi, one of the Good Noise podcasts. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
We said this last year. We're gonna say it again. This is so awkward and unnatural to pre-record an episode. This is disgusting.
Yeah, I don't. It's basically the same thing on my end because like I don't see anything except I just like to look into the chat and be like, okay, you know what? It looks fine. We're live, but now it's just kind of like
We have to look
Shane
at
could
each
be
other.
joking right now. He could just be like, we're not even recording right now, and I'm talking to no one. It's a whole
I
thing.
promise we're recording right now.
Okay. Good.
So I'm sure you read the title when you clicked the video or
Yeah.
the podcast episode on your preferred audio streaming service.
There you go.
We're talking about albums of the year. We got
Yes.
plenty of hot takes, I'm sure. Gloria and I
Yeah.
don't know each other's list. Outside of like
No.
a couple of things that we were talking about, I was like, oh fuck, I forgot to add this. And she was like, I'm gonna add it too. And I'm like, you're copying me. So we're gonna discuss songs of the year and then disappointments. We're gonna have a laugh during that one, I'm sure. And then album of the year honorable mentions, and then our top 10 albums of the year. We'll do that in reverse order, 10 to 1. So we'll end it with a big finale. You probably already know our answers. Gloria's is obvious. I literally tweeted mine, so I'm sure you already know.
Because I wanted it to be a big surprise because like you obviously do mine because come on, but yours I was like, you know what, there are like 3 different options here, and then you just tweeted it.
Well, it was in reply to Yasmin's tweet, so it wasn't directly on the timeline though.
It was directly on my timeline.
Well, you have notifications on. It's different.
Okay, I don't. Whatever.
You want to get the show on the road with the songs of the year, dude?
Let's start this up,
bro. Okay.
All right.
My number one.
Who went for? Oh, whoa! I thought we were going backwards.
No, my number one song, like easily, like it's not my songs of the year are in no particular order.
Oh,
but,
okay.
The one I listened to by far the most this year was "Numb" by Water Parks.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. And then continuing to go down the list once again in no particular order after "Numb." Stan Atlantic, they put out 2 singles this past year, Death Wish and Molotov. Okay, both bangers. Drop the heavy record, guys, please. Korn's Start the Healing. I'm gonna say right now, that album probably gonna be my album of the year next year. Just taking a wild stab.
Probably, unless Slipknot drops one.
Well, they also put out a single this year, so who knows? Maybe they will.
There you go.
Bad Omens. They put out 3 singles. They got an album coming out in February. Probably be on the list. Won't be number 1 though, because I just said which one will be number 1. But those singles, Death of Peace of Mind, Artificial Suicide, and What Do You Want From Me, 3 bangers. Belmont put out 2 singles, Bowser's Castle and Pain Now.
That was good.
Fucking bangers. Silverstein, Bankrupt and Over It. Once again, bangers. Super Whatever's Dwell on the Guilt of Saving Myself.
That was your favorite single by Super Whatever,
yeah,
right?
And then they
Just
said
by
we're
far.
done. I mean, what a song to go out on though.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, what a song. Such a good song. Guys, come back, please.
Please.
Werewolves, Fall With Me.
God.
Pretty good song, I'm not gonna lie. I like the record too, but this song, man, something in it. Really good. Big Time Rush, Call It Like I See It.
Dude, I thought we were going to do 5. You're still going.
I told you I got carried out of hand. Escape the Fates, Not My Problem, featuring Travis Barker, the only good song on that entire album. Point North's Nice Now.
That's a good one.
Slipknot, the Chapeltown Rag, that single Glory was talking about earlier. Dixie, she put out 2 singles that I really liked this year, Psycho and The Real Thing. I can't even say it with a straight face, but
it's embarrassing.
I'm
that
dead
is
serious.
embarrassing.
What? Dude, her team can write a mean pop song. You're just blind, bro. I'm sorry that you can't see it. Hopefully one of these days you can.
I hope not.
But until then, I'm praying for you, man. I'm praying. We Came as Romans, Dark Bloom. They put out a couple other singles this year, but whatever. They were okay. Sharia Moore, Orlando. I told them that this should have been the focus track on their EP because it's an
straight to their
absolute
face.
banger. I'm gonna say it again. Should have been the focus track, guys. Mike Shinoda's Happy Ending featuring Ian Dior and Upsall. This song is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. That's why it's on my list. And Motionless in White's Time Bomb. That's my list.
Wow. Okay. So for the next one, are we alternating, or is that just for album of the year?
Album
We
of the
forgot to
year.
discuss that too. Okay, cool. So my best single, starting from number one, I guess, is Tyler the Creator's Lumberjack, because
Saw that
that was
coming.
it dropped out of nowhere. Firstly, it just came out of nowhere, and it was such a strong punch back into the industry, just like, hey, I'm back. And everybody was like, cool.
Didn't he like tweet like an hour before it came out? It's like, hey, this is coming out, like with
I
like a
think
music
so.
video link.
Yeah. Like
Iconic.
join or something. And I was like, what? And then that was the only thing I listened to for like next month. Doja Cat and SZA's Kiss Me More.
Banger.
I listened to that like 500 times. That's not even like a joke. I'm not even exaggerating. I probably have like 500 streams in that. Willow's Transparent Soul. Banger.
All I can think about from that album is the Vibe song.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move on. Brent Faiyaz and Tyler the Creator's Gravity. That song, perfection. Sarah Kay's and Cave Town Struck by Lightning. There's crack. Just crack in that song. Straight, pure crack. And I love it.
Before anybody makes a comment, Glory did text me before this and said I did 10 album of the year, 10 honorable mentions, 5 disappointments, and 5 song of the year. And I said, that sounds great, bestie. I'll do the same thing. And then I was like, hey, I'm struggling with this one category. And she was like, hey, look this up. And then it went to shit from there. So my list has no organization at all. I kept adding things. So
wait, it's not like you don't have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
No, I like the top 10. I've got 10 in order. After that, it's just complete chaos. I just have bullet points everywhere, and it's a mess. But so that's why Glory's is short and concise, and mine is not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on.
We're moving on to disappointments. I think the obvious
worst releases.
Yeah, worst releases of 2021. Should have stayed
in our opinion,
drafts, bro. No, in everybody's opinion, these albums were pretty fucking bad. I think that this one's an obvious one. A Day Remembers, You're Welcome. No saving grace behind this record. Should have kept that one in the drafts, especially considering they kept on pushing it back because they claimed they didn't have cover art.
Which is like, you pushed it back for that cover art? Can we... What?
And then their backdrop on tour was that cover art. Like, they're so proud of that. And like, because you know how it's got like the ramp, like, because there's like the arch and then like the ramp walking up.
Yeah,
that's what they come out of, is that arch.
That's dumb.
It's awful.
Disrespectfully
awful. Escape the Fates, Chemical Warfare. What a boring ass album. I was very stoked for it too, because Not My Problem is like an amazing song, in my opinion. Attila's Closure.
I saw that one and I was like,
Enough Said. That album was pretty fucking bad.
Pretty horrible.
The Offspring's Let the Bad Times Roll.
Yeah.
Enough Said. There was a song about like pissing after sex or whatever the fuck they had.
Something like that,
record. Yeah. Really weird. The Black Veil Brides, The Phantom Tomorrow. I didn't want this to be like a disappointment or whatever, but it was just like, it
just happened.
It was like kind of the same song over and over again.
And it's like, we called it this, well, at least I called it the second I saw the cover art, because I saw it and I was like, oh no, this doesn't look good. It looks butt rock.
Well,
it's not.
It's like hard. Well, they've always been like hard rock, you know, whatever. Kind of like, this is just radio rock. But like when Andy was like describing in interviews, like, because they pushed the record back because of vinyl delays and everything, and they did a shit ton of press off it, and they were like, he was like explaining the backstory behind it and everything. And it sounded really cool. Like there's like comic books and shit that go into it, and like the music videos connect and everything. It's like, you spent more time on the story than you did on the songs, dude. Like, because like there's this like the Blackbird, and like that's who's on the cover, and like all this shit, and it's like, bro, this sounds really cool, but the songs aren't.
Doesn't match.
At least like when I saw them live, they didn't lean too heavily into this album, and when they did, like hearing the songs live, it's like, this isn't horrible, because it kind of just it fits with like what they're doing. But listening to it, like there's other Black Veil Brides records I'd rather listen to than this one. Maybe I'm just over them though. because I had my Black Veil Brides phase, and then I was like, I'm over this completely.
As a person who hasn't had that phase yet, and just a person who's just a listener, no, it's not just you. The album just wasn't. Yeah, the album just wasn't that great.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
21 Pilots, Scaled and Icy.
Oh, album of the year.
Gloria had to text me to remind me that this record came out this year because I tried to like block it out of my memory.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that I had a phase where I thought that Shy Away and Saturday were bangers.
Glad you're out of that.
Yeah, well,
glad you've recovered.
In my defense, they played Saturday at my work all the time, so I had no choice but to listen to it. This album's pretty fucking bad, though.
Yeah, album's really bad. Yeah.
Atreyu's Baptize. This album was so bad that I went and saw them live while they toured off this record in November.
Yeah.
And the crowd did not seem to give a single fuck when a fourth of the set list was songs off this record, and they just kind of stood there and stared at the band. Like, even the band didn't seem interested playing these songs.
Oh.
It was like just weird.
Wait,
around.
Is Atreyu the one who's racist, or is that Attila?
That's Attila. Attila's got a million problems.
I get them confused all the time, but good to know it's not that one.
Yeah,
okay,
no.
sorry.
Atreyu just wrote a bad record. Well, I mean, so did Attila. But Attila's written many bad records.
I forgot to add their day drinking. Bad single, day drinking.
Bad.
I'm adding that now.
I forgot the song title, but I was like, there's that one song that's like country, but they sing about day drinking. It's really bad.
It just sounds like a barbecue song.
It's a really bad fever dream.
You just not like to hear. You'd be like, who put this in the playlist?
Yeah.
Sorry, continue your list.
But yeah, Baptizers, just like the band did not seem interested at all. The crowd was not interested. They were like harmonizing and shit. It's like, am I at a pop show or a metalcore show? Which one am I at here?
Are metalcore people not allowed to harmonize?
Well, it's just like they've in the 25 years they've been a band or whatever, they've never stood on stage and been like, "There's rad harmonies in this song, bro," and then proceed to harmonize with each other. And then, November 20th rolls around and they're like, "Bro, there's rad harmonies in this song. We're gonna harmonize together," and then do it. And I'm like, am I at a 5 Seconds of Summer concert right now, or
probably
an Atreyu concert? I actually recorded that song when they did that because I was like, this is going to be so bad.
It's going to be great.
It's Broken Again off the album, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Hobo Johnson alienates his fan base. That one
that
album
one wasn't the best
was
one.
Bad.
It was
Everything
good.
that man has put out is awful, actually.
Okay.
Corey.
Now you're going too far because he's put out a lot of good stuff.
No, sure.
Yes.
AJR, OK Orchestra, if you have this on your disappointments list, I'm gonna call bluff because you said you thought this album was okay.
I don't, because I thought it was okay. I still think it's okay. They're not my type of music at all, but it's like, I gotta respect it because it's at least it's produced well. They have their little message in it. It's just they just sometimes just add everything at once, every song.
Maybe I just like missed the mark with this band entirely, but like I don't get it. I don't get the hype.
I was an AJR stan.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I don't get the hype. I was this close to seeing them live too. They had to drop off an hour before doors because they got COVID.
Oh yeah, that was the
Jingle Ball. So I almost got to experience it live too.
That would have been great for 15 minutes though.
I was super stoked though, like because I made like a playlist with everything, and Sam was like, "Can we please skip the AJR?" I'm like, "No, we got to know every word to the AJR songs,
yeah,
bro.
We're gonna be singing along.
It back at them." And then I did all that homework for nothing.
Now
Alice
you just have
Cooper,
AJR.
Detroit Stories. That was the P song, I think. That was the one. That was the album with the piss song. Alice Cooper been making music for way too fucking long. He should retire.
Just stop.
And last but not least, in my disappointments category, everything that Trapped released this year. Just besides Fire. That song was pretty fire, bro. But
Okay. So my worst releases starts with my number 1 because I have them numbered.
Good for you.
Tornado Pilot, Scaled and Icy is number 1. Congratulations, guys. You deserved it. The Offspring, Let the Bad Times Roll. A Day to Remember. You're welcome. Mod Sun, Internet Killed the Rock Star. As much as I didn't like that album, I liked what it did for pop punk because it kind of revived it, which is like not in a good way. Like that's I had to explain it to my mother today. I was like, dude, there's this horrible album that I put on my list, and she was like, why is it so bad? And I was like, okay, so there's a song and it goes F me like a porn star, and she was like, oh no. I was like, exactly, it's not good, it's not clever at all. And as a bonus, number 6, because it was supposed to be 5.
So I had a lot of bonuses on mine.
You did. All of Trap's singles, Pride, Fire, Drop Your Guard, etc. Except Pride kind of has, like a best release of the year, but also worst release of the year. Because have you heard his runs in that? It's just, and his bridges. He just loves bridges.
He loves bridges, man. He loves them.
Watch his video about how much he loves bridges, because he made a whole 10-minute video
about
just how
half
much
of it was dedicated to the bridge.
Yeah, and he showed maybe 5 seconds of an actual bridge. It was basically just him pointing a camera at his computer, showing the little audio portions of a bridge without playing it. It was really cool.
And he was like, dude, I love bridges. They're the best part of the song, bro. Bridges, bro. So wait, bridges. You said that was your bonus, but I caught
sorry, Tramp Stamps.
Yeah. Okay, I was like
Tramp Stamps was my number 5. We Got Drunk and Made an EP. That album, there was now their more recent singles are actually good. I could say that they're good, but the EP was just a dumpster fire. None of it was good. The cover art was everything about it just not good. Should have stayed in the drafts. Everything bad. No.
The thing about that EP, it confuses me why they even put it out. Because the internet ripped them to shit over the singles they put out for that.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, so we're not going to put it out on its intended release date, but we're going to put it out a couple months later.
Yeah.
Why they didn't just scrap it and make a whole new one? You could have completely done a 180, because no one really gave a shit. They were just like, here's some industry plants, fuck you.
Yeah.
Could have totally done a 180. Not even have to change our image, just write new songs.
Yeah, just do better.
Yeah. Not So Silent Night, bro. Absolute banger though.
So bad. It's
Absolute
so bad.
Banger.
For this one, can we alternate, and can we start at the bottom?
Sure.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
First. Okay.
Trap's Fire for my my
You're
last
joking.
honorable mention. No, I'm dead serious.
Okay.
You're gonna have less than me. I have 14.
I have 12.
Okay, good.
So you go twice, and then there you go.
Lorna Shore's EP, And I Return to Nothingness.
That's good.
I should probably mention, after I read 2 off, that there is no order to these at all. Absolutely zero numbering at all. Just what I came up with. But that EP was pretty good, and that interview did really well too. Go watch it.
It was a good interview.
We interviewed Will. Go watch it.
Will was very nice, and he showed us I forgot the cat's name, but he introduced us to his cat. Yeah, it was very nice. My number 12 is Architects, For Those That Wish to Exist. I forgot the album name.
Yeah, I was going to call you out for that.
Before this. I called myself out before you could. And I enjoyed it so much that I bought it after the first listen, and then I canceled the order because I was like, I've only listened to it once, and then I listened to it again. I was like, it's still good, but I would like $30 back. So. And
then she forgot the album name because she hasn't listened to it since, and she was like, "What's your album of the year?" And I'm like, "That Architects album." And she's like, "What's it called? The Architect?"
That was the other one, though. That was the other one. There was a band who put out The Architect.
I'm sure there was, but it wasn't Architects.
Idola.
Oh yeah, that's right. How the fuck did you look that up?
I just looked it up.
Yeah, I'm like, how the fuck did you know that?
Yeah.
Pulse's Speak Less, bro, so good.
So good.
That's all I gotta say. So
that
good.
Was all you? Okay.
So good.
Sherry Moore, Internal Discussions, banger. I love them so much.
I'm gonna say it again. Orlando, should have been the lead single, the focus track on the EP.
Yeah.
Should be number 1 most streamed song. The home team, Slow Bloom. We interviewed them when this came out, and like I heard the record, I was like, this is good. Kind of left it at that, and like something clicked because like their social media promotion is like just kind of keep on throwing like the focus track onto the timeline, and it's like here's 10 seconds off the song, and it's one of the really catchy ones on the record, and I'm like, I can't get these 10 seconds out of my fucking head. I have to go listen to the record. So like the past week and a half has just been me listening to this album every fucking night. It's like what I do before I go to bed, and I'm like, this album just rocks so hard. They deserve to blow up off the back of this one. I mean, they're going on tour with This Wildlife and Broadside at the beginning of next year, so fucking so deserved. Deserved.
Yeah, so true. I love them. And also same, first time I listened to it was just kind of like, this is good. And it's just like when I listened to it when it came out on the playlist, I was like, wait a minute. So good album.
The Google Drive version just didn't do it justice.
It didn't hit because you have to exit out after every song. You have to click it. But with Spotify, it just goes.
Yeah,
and it's like, you know what? This flows. It's good. Anyways, my number 10 is Pulse's Speak Less. Banger. Twinning. My favorite song off this is the Never Meant cover. So it's like 30 seconds long. And I listened to it so many times that I think it's like in my top 10 all-time list on songs of 2021. So I really liked it.
Nice. Of Mice and Men's Echo. I was almost about to put this on the disappointments list just solely based on the rollout of this thing. I loved basically every song on the album because every single song was a single, so I spent a shit ton of time with each song. But I hated the fucking rollout of this thing. But too many good songs on here to be like, this is a disappointment. That's why this is in no particular order.
Okay. My number 9 is Seafloor Cinema in Cinema Scope with stereophonic sound. I'm sorry, I always feel like I messed it up. But this album's very good. I enjoyed it. And I just, everything about it just has this vibe of, this can be a classic.
Oh, it's a very good album.
It's a very good album. So, number 9. Good job, guys. Love you.
Not My Weekend's Honeymoon.
That was this year?
That was this year. That is actually what I wanted to bring up. This album, fantastic. 2 things. For the way they promoted it, put it out way too early in the year. Because they kind of dropped it. Pat did a couple of interviews, and then
Watch Ours with Pat.
Yeah, Watch Ours with Pat. And then they just kind of like, that was it. Like they never really had like a hardcore social media presence to begin with.
Yeah.
But like,
well, they have TikTok. Pat like rules TikTok.
Yeah, well, Pat's got his TikTok going on, but like it's like a mixture of like band stuff and like him just saying stupid shit and being funny.
Yeah.
And obviously the funny shit is going to do better than the band shit because people are like, you're shoving your band in my face, I don't care. But like they don't really have much of a social media presence. They're just like, here's a record, and then like they go like dark after they post the fucking tweet, and you're like, what do you mean? So I think that this album has way more potential than they actually got out of it. And
for sure,
if you were going to drop it with like barely any promotion, fucking and I'm saying like barely any promotion because like I fucking forgot it came out for like 9 months, so that might just be me. But also like no physicals, didn't get to tour off of it until the end of the year, and like didn't really you didn't like market. There was a co-headliner, so they didn't get to market the tour as like honeymoon release tour. So like it's a phenomenal record. I just think that like on the promotion side, like, so it could have reached so many more people because, as I said, it was a phenomenal record. But the only thing that I saw people talking about was when everyone was like, Lux Run Out sucks shit and you should delete it off the internet for like 24 hours. When that was the only thing I saw on my Twitter timeline.
Yeah, that song is definitely
a song.
Number 8 is Brockhampton, Roadrunner, New Light, New Machine.
Why is it so low?
I'm gonna break it down for you right now. This album has some good tracks. It has some good points, but there are some points in it where it's just so I don't even mean this figuratively. It's so preachy. Like, they have a whole song called Dear Lord, and it's the last track, and I get it. I get what the album is about. I understand it. I love that they wrote about it. Personally, it just threw me off because I can't connect with it. And it's just I didn't really like all the tracks. So I didn't like enough tracks to place it on my all-time top 10, but I did like enough of it, and I have enough of them in my playlist to still put them on honorable mentions. And I have a couple other albums and EPs on my higher up in this honorable mentions list.
I'm so stumped. I seriously, like, that's like the first time you've gotten me this entire time we've been recording where I was like, that was not what I wasn't expecting it to be like number 2 on your list, but I was totally expecting it on top 10 just because like you became a Brockhampton stan like when that album rollout kind of started. So.
When I became a Brockhampton stan when whatchamacallit Buzzcut came out, and I was like, oh, okay, well, they only dropped one song, so let me check out the other. If you compare Roadrunner to like Ginger, Iridescent, any of the Saturations, even their first album, personally it just falls flat. Even like production wise, it's better because they're bigger and they have more resources now, but it's just content wise, I would listen to any of their other albums before I would listen to Roadrunner.
Fair enough.
And that's just, and it sucks because I wanted to like it.
Got me so stumped there. So stumped.
Yeah, but I have an argument against it, so I was ready.
Yeah, you were just like, well, I put it there because I said so.
Which we did like last year. It was just like, why? Because I wanted to.
Yeah, I put it there because I said so. Iceland Kills, Welcome to Horrorwood, The Silver Scream 2. Glory and I have had many conversations about this album because she absolutely loves it. And I absolutely...
Wait, are we still on honorable mentions here?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
What, you thought that was on my album of the year list?
Yeah, I thought you maybe misplaced it. I thought this was like on your top 10.
No. We've had many conversations about this album, and I have told you time and time again, I'm like, it's missing something for me. I don't know what's up. Like, I just, like, now what they've done with this record, insane. How big it really has gotten, like how many vinyl sales they got and shit like that. It's wild. But I just think that the first Silver Scream is miles better musically.
It's heavier.
It's heavier too. It falls flat for me, and it's like every single time I listen to it, I'm like, I enjoy this, but I don't enjoy it enough to like go back and listen to it again. Yeah, it's just like I don't know. I want to like it so bad. I want to listen to it on repeat so bad, but I'm like, they just have better albums, man.
That's me with Brockhampton.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, I know that this is like they're gonna lean into this so hard.
Oh god, yeah.
But I am so over like the horror shit, and like I get it fits like the brand, and like they've always kind of had that, but they didn't really dive really deep into it until 2 albums prior, where they wrote a bunch of songs about like horror books and stuff. The Communion and the Curse, or Every Trick in the Book. I keep on calling one of the song titles that's a clever name. Every Trick in the Book is that album where they kind of started this thing. The Silver Scream is where they really dove into it, and then obviously they did it again on this record. And I'm kind of over it because I really looked into it and was like really into it when I was really into the Silver Scream, and now I'm like, I'm not so into Iceland Kills now. I just kind of enjoy listening to them on occasion. I'm like, I don't know, missing something, kind of over it already. But hopefully the next album in like 4 years, because their album cycles are so fucked up, is better. Or maybe in the next 3 years I'll get really into this record.
There you go.
Who knows?
It'll grow on you.
I think the other thing that really fucked this album for me is that Dead put out that record on the same day. Yeah. And I was like, I got so hooked on the Dead album that like I just didn't get the like. If Welcome to Horrorwood is the only thing that came out on that day, I would have just listened to it until I was like, I fucking love this album. But since I was able to do that with the Dead album, I was like, that other one came out, and like, yeah, I had tickets to see them in a month where they're gonna play half this album live, but like the Dead album, bro, shit's pretty sick. So
it's pretty good. That. And that, I'm not even gonna ask about it because whatever. My number 7 is Zayn. Nobody's listening.
Thought that would be on there too, but I saw that on like top 20 worst albums of 2021.
I saw it too, and I was like, why?
I didn't think it was that bad.
It wasn't bad at all. It's just I only liked two of the songs on there enough to actually listen to them, to actually pick them out of the album and be like, okay, these are the two songs that I found off the album that I like. The rest of the album just kind of fell flat. It didn't have, and I know I shouldn't go into like another album like, oh, I hope it's like this one, or I hope it's like, you know, some of his past albums, because artists are able to branch out, you know, do whatever they want. But it's like they still had kind of the same vibe as the other ones, but it just didn't hit. Just none of the songs, except like Better and Tightrope, were good, in my opinion. Good enough to revisit constantly, as much as I do with his other two albums or any of the other guys. It's just kind of, it was disappointing. And he released it like super early in the year, so I forgot about it. Yeah, honestly, I forgot about it.
He had kind of the same thing as like Not My Weekend, where he kind of like Zayn, obviously not really online to begin with. He just he just kind of put the record out, and then like, you know, he's major label, and like it feels like there was no spending dollars put into like promotion of this album. Like I didn't see a single ad. I didn't see shit for this.
All the ads were targeted to his fans, because I couldn't get away from it. But I'm like, I know it's coming out.
Yeah.
It's like, I have his post notifications. Yeah, why are you targeting me?
Target the ads at the fans. You should target them at other, because like I didn't see a single fucking ad for this thing. I didn't see him talk about this fucking record like at all.
No, he did live streams, but that was it. He doesn't do interviews
to your fans, and like he did a couple of interviews. Like I think he did like a Zach Sang interview and like shit like that. Like, but he's not one to do, you know, a press cycle because he's fucking Zayn. So
he lives on a farm with his horses and his girlfriend and his baby. And he's like, I don't care.
Wants. Yeah,
exactly, and good for him. Yeah, but like,
he's doing just fine whether the album performs amazing or not. It doesn't fucking matter.
Dude, with One Direction money, he's set for life.
Yeah,
he doesn't even have to release music. He is good. So, but yeah, the album, not good.
Yeah. Chapel's Room Service.
Yes, sir.
Absolute banger. Four banging tracks. Every single like now we obviously interview way too many bands. Every single time we interview Chapel, I get like hooked on their music for weeks afterwards. And we interviewed
literally
them the day before this EP came out. We interviewed Carter, and it was like this EP came out. I was like, this is the only thing I'm listening to for the foreseeable future, because it's like I love talking to Carter every single time we talk to him, and we've gotten to talk to Courtney once, and she was nice to talk to as well.
I miss you guys.
And it's like I love talking to them. They're so personable, and it's like I have to listen to their music now. I don't know. There's just like something in it. There's something in their music. It's fucking great. I really hope that they get to put out a full length this year, because I might die if I only can listen to like, what is there, like 11 Chapel songs out right now?
Literally, it's like 11, because they have the one album and then this.
Yeah, so I need more Chapel music in my life. That's what I need right now.
I completely agree, dude. What is it? Days. What is
Miss
it?
The Days.
Miss the Days. Song of the year. Easy.
Yeah, that's such a different song for them too. And like, obviously we talked about it with Carter, and like he was like, yeah, dude, it's my favorite song because it's so fucking different.
Yeah, because I told him, I was like, it's my favorite song that you guys have made. He was like, what? It's my favorite too. And I was like, literally, I was like, what? No way. But then we started talking about the music video, and he's like, wow, you guys saw everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come back on the podcast, Carter.
Yeah.
My number 6 is Lil Nas X Montero. This album was good. I will probably revisit it again, especially probably like the Doja song. You know, like the bigger songs I'll probably revisit. But it's just the only song that I kind of liked the most, the only song that I listened to off of it, only two, is Industry Baby and the title track. All the other songs are like, they were good, but they all just kind of sounded the same. He's a more single, like one track at a time, and then maybe just release a collection at the end of the year, just kind of wrap it up as a present. But just dropping an album in like one spot with songs we've never heard before, it's just, it doesn't fit him, in my opinion.
Yeah, the album was weird. Yeah, I even remember when we talked about it, I was like, yeah, Glory's gonna talk about how much she fucking loves this album, and I'm gonna look like an idiot when I'm like, yeah, I didn't think it was all that good. But even you were like, yeah, it's whatever,
it's okay.
Yeah,
it's like, just not something that I would revisit. And I'm pretty sure a lot of I've spoken to other people who are like, yeah, I felt the same. It's like there are a couple good tracks on it, just overall it's just kind of meh.
Yeah, the best songs are the ones he put out as singles easily.
Yeah.
Beartooth, Below. This is a good album.
Beartooth. It's good.
Another one that just kind of got lost in like the shuffle of like, you know, shit coming out every week and needing to talk about it all. But it's a phenomenal album, honestly. I get in like weird spots where I like they're the only thing I listen to. Hasn't happened in a while, but like it happened before the record came out, not after.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, but the album's very good.
So true. Wasn't that the album that Yasmin was obsessed with for a good second on the
Yasmin's
timeline?
really into Beartooth and Architects. That's like their big two. But yeah, very, very good record.
Very good
Worth
record.
getting obsessed over.
Yeah, for sure. My number 5 is Between You and Me, Armageddon. I thought the album banged. I just didn't have enough space to include it on my top 10. If like one of these people who didn't release, like if my number 10 didn't drop their album this year, it would easily be right there. But it's just there were too many good albums that dropped this year for me. But this album, I bought the vinyl of it from like this really shady website.
After it sold out everywhere.
Yeah. I looked it up and it says it's a reliable website.
Where'd you
like
buy it
Reddit.
from?
I don't know. You want me to look? Like well, it's like
I was like, if you tell me the name, I might be like, yeah, that's a record store that I bought from before.
Oh no, it's like in China.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't bought from any Chinese record stores.
But this album was very good. I'm looking for it now. I'm searching my
Yes, very good album. We had a very good time with them. Go watch it.
Oh, that was such a good one.
The craziest thing from this record is when they because I would assume that their contract with Hopeless is up because they quote tweeted their labels tweeting was like, would have been nice if you guys did a little bit more promotion or something along those lines. And I was like, what a way to promote your album by like completely dissing the label that paid for that.
Yeah. Wow.
Definitely interesting. So, but that was like, holy shit. Had the entire timeline tweeting about Between You and Me when the album came out.
Yeah. Okay. Grooves Land.
Never heard of it.
That's what it's called. Exactly. Yeah.
Hope it shows up though.
Me too. But it is the limited edition Blue Butterfly vinyl. Did it ever ship? It said it would ship.
Because the thing with this album is that like it felt like no one knew it was coming out, but then the vinyl is fucking sold out everywhere. You can fucking get the album anywhere, and it's like, but I thought no one knew that this fucking thing was coming out.
Exactly. Yeah. Wait. Oh my god, they gave me a tracking number. It's getting here tomorrow.
Yo.
Wait, I'm gonna cover the tracking number. Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll tweet a picture.
Story Untold's No Future, but the O in No is an X.
Whoa.
The album, the EP itself, pretty fucking good. I hated that like whole X for O thing. It's dumb.
Not good for screen readers.
Not good for screen readers either. It's very dumb though.
And also just kind of hard to read for people who don't need screen readers.
It's just hard to read in general.
Just like whatever Bring Me the Horizon's doing. They're typing all weird now, and I'm like, guys.
Yeah, it's so bad. And Story Untold actually had a song on the album that was like I gotta look it up. I haven't listened to the EP in a second, but it was Between You and Me Show, I think is the name of it. Yeah, Between You and Me Show, but the X's and whatever.
Of course, yeah.
That song bangs, and then all I know is I'll Never Know. Took me a second to read because the X is for the other thing. That is like one of the best songs from the show. I didn't put it on there because I was like, we're gonna talk about the EP anyway, or at least I'm going to. But like that song, there's something in it. I don't know. Fucking bangs. So good. Banger.
So true. All right. My number 4, honorable mention still. Heart Attack Man, Thoughts and Prayers.
You've officially got me confused. Because I seriously thought that this was going to be on your top. What the fuck is on your top 10? Is it just
a lot of good
blank
stuff.
Spots and fucking Tyler, Creator? What the fuck is it?
Dude,
I'm so confused now.
It's good. And you're going to be like, oh.
Please explain now. Please explain now. You have to explain why this isn't on your top 10.
Okay, so the reason this isn't on my top 10 is because a lot of artists that I really like dropped stuff this year.
Yeah.
And Heart Attack Man was just an added bonus that I didn't, well, I expected an album, but it's okay because the EP banged. I wanted more songs. I thought all the songs were great. Pitch Black was a perfect leading single because I still listen to that on repeat. But that and Leap Year that's half the album. I was gonna say those are the only 2 songs that I listened to. But that's half the album.
Literally half the EP. Yeah.
So EP, whatever it is, record, and it's a banger. I enjoy it. I love it. It's only 4 songs. If it was a bit longer, maybe 6, 7, I'd easy up there. But it's just I have so many other albums and EPs that dropped this year that I just can't. It was in my top 5. But just I kept remembering, oh, this dropped, and I was like, oh, well, there you go.
I don't even know what could be on there. Like, did we cover the same music this year? Because like, I can't even think of what you'd have on there now at this point. Whatever. Glory's gonna shock the shit out of me. Dying Wish, Fragments of a Bitter Memory.
That was
that's on there. That's I actually revisited this album recently. Oh, so good. The things that I would do to have us spend 20 minutes talking to the band about this record. I would love to chat with the band, please. But yes, this record is very good.
Very good. I agree. That was a good one. I played that while I was baking. Yeah. The entire.
It's a great baking album.
It is,
those hardcore bands, man, they make such great baking records.
Dude, I've frosted so many pies. Cakes with this. So good, man. My number 3 on honorable mentions is Chapel's Room Service. We already explained how this is such a good EP. Drop the album next year. I know your record label is probably holding it hostage right now, but I'm gonna need you to just leak it.
Yeah, drop it.
Just give it to us and we'll leak it.
We won't even leak it. We'll just keep it for personal consumption. But please, I need to hear it.
Please, like Carter, we're not even joking. Just literally send it to us. We'll just listen to it. We just need new Chapel.
Agreed.
That's all I gotta say.
This one, Between You and Me's Armageddon.
Yeah.
Not as high up, like, mentally on my list, but it kind of came to me right away. I was like, oh, fuck, that album came out, and it was pretty good.
It was very good, yeah.
So, yeah, Glory obviously talked about it. We already beat the shit out of that one, so very good album, though. That opening track. Wow.
Oh dude, the whole album, okay. Just the cover art, everything, it just looking at it makes me happy. I'm excited for my vinyl to get here tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Cool. My number 2 on my honorable mentions list is With Confidence's Self-Titled.
I was just thinking about that album because I was like, if I need to add an extra one because our numbers are off or some shit, I'll throw that one on there really quick. Yeah. That album is another one that Hopeless dropped the ball on.
Yeah, for real. They what is it? I'm just a star. What You Make It, is that what it's called? Whatever that song is, that has such, the Throw It Away, Forget Yesterday song, that one, just like all the big pop punk songs like that, or whatever you want to label it as, I don't care. It has that energy of, oh god, this one is gonna be like the hit of the album. Yes, it did get a lot of streams, more than, I'm pretty sure it was the most popular one off the album, but it's just like it could have done so much more. It feels
like no one really knows what came out from the Hopeless camp this year. And like, granted, I love that label. They got a bunch of my favorite bands on there, but it was like I only knew that the shit was coming out because like that's what I do. My nose is in that shit 24/7. But yeah, the album was very good though. Once again, it was another record from this year that just deserved more marketing attention.
So much more. Yeah.
Because it was a phenomenal record, arguably one of their best. I know they've only got a couple, but I would say it's up there.
Watch our interview.
Yeah. Well, from last year, we didn't even talk about the record.
We did, because he said the new record's crazy, and I used that. Yeah. On the cover.
When we interviewed and the album wasn't announced yet, there was nothing out from the record. We talked about their 2018 album, when we interviewed them, or 2019.
And I asked them a question about they're like what 2017 or 16 album.
And he was like, "Huh?" He's like, "I gotta go back look at my Spotify."
Listen to this, and I was like, "Yeah."
I haven't played a show in a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
The Devil Wears Prada Zombie 2 EP caps off my honorable mentions list. This is the only one that's actually like in the spot that it would like be like it's number 11, like if we're counting number 11 on the album of the year list. Just there wasn't enough room on the list. There's only 10 spots. I have 10 albums on there, but this EP is very good. I would even say that the singles are like the weakest part. Because like when the EP came out, like I listened to it in full a couple of times, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna subtract the singles from it when I listen. I'm just gonna listen to the other songs, because the other songs are just so fucking good. And it's impressive that they were able to follow up such an iconic EP. They've got their zombie EP, and like everyone's like, how the fuck are you gonna follow that up? And then they did. So that's pretty impressive. Nice job.
My last honorable mention is Kenny Hoopla, Survivor's Guilt EP album. I think it's an album because it's like 20 minutes long. EPs are usually under 10 or like 12 or something. Amazing. I listened to it like 3 times today because I was like, does this deserve number 1 spot? Yes, it does. It's very good. Kenny, come on the podcast.
Kenny, you've got an open invitation to come on the podcast whenever you'd like.
Please.
Now, album of the year, we're gonna go 10 to 1, alternate, all that fun shit. My number 10 is Concrete Castle's "Wish I Missed You." Oh,
I'm so surprised.
That's sarcasm.
Yes.
Actually,
no, because I kind of expected it in your top 5. It's a bit low.
No, I'm honestly like personally shocked that it got on there and that I got so hooked on it, because like when you look at the rest of my list, it's like the pop rock album that he didn't really like on his first couple of listens is number 10 on that list. Because like when we talked about it on when we reviewed it and everything, I was like, this is like, whatever, and then we finally got this interview set up a couple months later after continuously trying, and I was like, okay, fine, I guess I gotta go listen to this fucking thing again. And I did, and I was like, wait a minute, I think I kind of get it.
Wait a minute.
And then I kept listening to it, and then I just kept going. And then my partner pre-ordered me the vinyl for my birthday, and I was like, well, I'm fully into this now.
Exactly. Guess I'm here now.
So I think that this album is amazing, front to back. So such a good record. And then I go watch our interview with them. They were fun to talk to.
They were very fun to talk to. That was a good one. My number 10 is Never Loved Over It. Do you have anything to say to that?
No, I wasn't expecting that at number 10.
You expected it higher?
No, I would have expected that on honorable mentions.
No.
Like the album was phenomenal.
Yeah, every album off the every song off the album was just, it had that, as we said, it was just
anthemic.
Arena. Anthemic. Yeah, there you go. Not arena. That's a bad thing. Arena's bad.
Arena's good. Butt rock.
Literally. Amazing though. I loved it. I need to listen to it more. That's why it's so low. That I listened to it like 2-3 times.
That's why I thought it was going to be on your honorable mentions, because you've only listened to it a couple of times.
But the reason it's on my album of the year list is because the feeling that I got the first time I listened to it, where it's just kind of like a whoa, has still stuck with me after all of these months, where it's just like I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's a very, very good album, even though I've only listened to it like 2-3 times. So that's why it's my number 10.
I was tossing around putting it on my honorable mentions list, but I figured you would get mad at me if there were any more on my fucking list, because I was supposed to keep it to 10. So
I would have been okay with that. Yeah.
I am verbally saying that it is not officially on my honorable mentions, but it is mentally on my honorable mentions list.
Yeah.
Number 9 is Ask Alexandria, See What's on the Inside.
Okay.
I think you saw that one coming, because I spent about a solid 20 minutes when we talked about it going over why it's their best butt rock album so far.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, no, it's I stand by everything I said. For a second there, I was like, no, this album's actually hot shit.
Yeah.
And then I listened to it again a couple of weeks ago because I was like, I'm back in my Ask Alexandria phase, man. I love Ask Alexandria again. Not just their butt rock stuff, but their metalcore stuff too. And I was like, yeah, no, this album is still pretty good. Still holds up.
Yeah.
Holds up a couple months later. It's not as bad as like A House on Fire, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, that one wasn't that good. I don't remember it being like horrible, but I just remember being like, oh,
boring.
I'm not gonna listen to this again. My number 9 is Bad Flower. This Is How the World Ends. What was that reaction that you just gave me? That
what the fuck?
What?
What?
I said it when we were talking about it on the podcast, where it's like I really like this album. It's definitely going to be on my album of the year list.
All right, I didn't like it. That's
that's why, because I liked it and you hated it, and I loved it, and you were like, "Well, if you like this, and go listen to the other album," and I was like, "Okay, I will," and then I didn't because I forgot. But very good album. I enjoyed it a lot, and the reason it's so low is the same reason for Never Loved. Listening to it twice was like, this is a very, very solid album. Perfect. Wouldn't change anything. I just haven't revisited it in a while. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Number 8, Love and Death's Perfectly Preserved. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good record. I'm not going to lie.
That's very good. Oh, God. We spoke to them.
Yeah. We spoke to JR forever ago.
Yeah. That was a while back. Yeah.
And that was pretty wild. But yeah, the album is fantastic. Was definitely one of those ones where like it came out so early where I was like, I actually forgot this thing came out. But it definitely carried me through like that lull in like 2021 where there's not much going on. So like it was everybody that album and one that I'm going to name later that kind of carried me through that lull, and got a shit ton of listening time.
I'm trying to figure out what that other one is, but we'll hear it in a second.
Not in a second, but later on.
Oh, so it's higher up.
Yeah.
Interesting. My number 8 is Dwayne Stains.
Okay. No, that album's pretty good. You're not gonna get a reaction from me out of that one.
Yeah, good. This album was very good. I'm pretty sure I had it on repeat for a week after it came out. Super 8. That song alone just deserves so many awards, so many Grammys, just everything. Just give everything to that song. Amazing. Phenomenal. Perfect. I love it.
I remember when Super 8 came out right before the record came out, and you texted me like, "We need this guy on the podcast right now."
Yes. Yeah.
Clearly, it didn't happen, but Glory texted me and was like, "We need this to happen," and I was like, "Well, try."
Yeah.
So there was that. Clearly, that one did not happen.
Yeah.
Spirit Box. This is my number 7. Spirit Box. Whoa! Eternal Blue.
It's so low.
Listen, man, it lived up to the hype. I swear, it lived up to the hype. But it just
that to be like number 2.
I just didn't spend nearly enough time with it. It's kind of the same reasons you gave for basically every record so far, where it's just like I didn't.
No, just the two.
I didn't spend enough time with it. Like, I thought it was great, but it was just so strewn out because it was like literally over the course of 16 months was like the album cycle for this thing, because they started the rollout in 2020 with Holy Roller and just kept going because they were like, we're going to keep pushing the record back because we want the band to tour off it. And then like they put the album out. They were supposed to tour with Limp Bizkit, and then that didn't even happen. So
forgot about that.
Yeah, so that happened. So I had like already heard a majority of the songs on the album, and like I thought that the songs that were left were good. But the singles are so much better, and I've heard the singles a million times. So yeah, the album was good. Just better albums this year, ones that I spent more time with, at least.
That's fair. That's insane. I expected that in like your top 5 again, or at least 2, because it's just you hype them up so much.
Yeah, and I think they're a great band, but I was like, where? Because it had been in my mind since like I started thinking about my fucking list. I was like, oh god, I gotta make this fucking stupid ass list. I was like, where do I put this record? Because I'm like, it's got to be on there. It almost wasn't on there. Dying Wish was almost in place of it. I was like, no, I gotta put Spirit Box on there.
That makes sense. Yeah, Dying Wish, that's fair. Yeah.
So I was like, no, it's got to be on there. But I've been spending a lot of time thinking about like, where the fuck do I put this? And that was like the only album where I was like, I don't know where the fuck this is gonna go. So number 7 is where it's gonna go right now.
That's perfect. All right. My number 7, you're gonna hate me for this, is Waterpark's Greatest Hits.
It's on there.
Yeah, it's on there. It's on yours, right?
Oh yeah. I
Okay,
bought
good,
the
'cause
album
you-
18 times.
18 times. Yeah, I was gonna say you spent like $300 on variants, so I hope it's on there for your sake. This album's good, and that's I mean, I love Fuzzy, so that song is like my favorite song they've ever produced, written, released, everything. Perfect, flawless song. Just the rest of the album, it's like the, what is it, A side, B side, A side, like the first half of it, perfect, I love it. B-side just kind of falls flat for me. Like, I can hear and recognize the songs. Like, American Graffiti starts playing and I'm like, oh, that's American Graffiti, but I just don't go out of my way like, oh, I feel like listening to American Graffiti today. It just I don't go back to them.
That is actually exactly how I felt when I listened to the record for the first time. And you had to like talk me out of it, because I was fucking livid the first time I heard the album.
Yeah, you were.
I was like, I am going to have a breakdown right now because I've spent so much money on this album and I don't like it. And Gloria's like talked me out of it, but that is how I felt. Was like side B just like kind of fell flat in a certain way.
Except See You in the Future.
See You in the Future, great closer. Not as good as I Felt Younger When We Met though. That's still their best closer. No. Yeah, it's just it fell flat, and it's like typically when you listen to Waterparks, it's like the first time you hear it, and it's like it's great. And this is like the first time where I had to like listen to the album a couple times to be like, this is good.
Fandom, you didn't like Fandom. When
I didn't like Fandom either. But yeah, at least I didn't have $1 million put into Fandom. Yeah, exactly. And it was like Fandom I hated because it was just like I hated all the singles. When it like, but the opposite happened for Greatest Hits. Like I hated all the singles when Fandom was like in its rollout, and then I heard the album and I was like, wait a minute, I was wrong about everything. And it might not have been on first listen. I don't remember what my Fandom listen was like in 2019.
You didn't like it.
But I do vividly remember hating every single single that came out for it besides Turbulent. This album, though, I was pissed because I loved every single single that came out, including the ones that most people hated. Like, a lot of people were like, what the fuck is Just Kidding? Because he really hyped that song up. Like with that, Just Kidding, like that 3-second, like really cool part of the song. Like he hyped that part up.
I remember we were in a call when it first dropped, that 3-second, and it was just like the bass line or something. And I was like, oh my God, this song's going to be, you know, a heavy song. I could feel the, you know, the breakdown in it or whatever. And we were both like, yes, we got to have, it's like, Lemonade by Youngblood, where it's just like, yes, that's with the durner, you could hear it. But then it was just kind of like a sad song. And it's really like, I get song. It, but like, okay, I expected something a little different.
Like there was that song, and even Snow Globe, which was like a what the fuck moment.
I mean, this is from a I remember when I was talking about the thing that I read in the same press release that we got for when they compared him to what, Daft Punk?
Yeah. The Daft Punky vibes. I'm like,
and then they said like that they were. I'm not gonna say the other thing because I don't want to start anything, but then they said some other stuff.
Daft Punky vibes and shit, and I'm like, I don't hear any of this, but whatever. But yeah, Snow Globe is also a weird way to be like, we have an album coming out, but that's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
But it was just weird because I was like, I'm so into all these singles, I'm gonna love this record, and then the album came out, and I was like, fuck this album, straight up, fuck this album.
Selling all my variants.
Yeah, who wants my variants, bro? And Gloria was like, no, go give it another listen before you do anything stupid. So I did,
because I loved it on first listen. I was like, oh my God. And I listened to it again and I was like, oh.
Well, that was what was really pissing me off, is that everyone around me was listening to the album for the first time, being like, dude, this album's fucking great, bro. I don't know what you don't hear. It's kind of the same thing like with the Silver Scream too. Everyone's like, dude, this album's great. I'm like, I don't fucking get it, bro. Like, Lori's like, album of the year, bro. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of how I felt about Greatest Hits, and
You've warmed up
I don't
to
feel
it
like that anymore, which is good.
Yeah.
My number 6 is Wage War's Manic.
I saw that. Yeah.
I've been spending a lot of time with this album recently because it kind of came out and I was like, I'm gonna go listen to the Butt Rock album instead. Asking Alexandria came out on the same day, alongside Dying Wish. So it was just kind of like those two albums kind of overshadowed Wage War, and I was like, I gotta come back to this record because as generic as Wage War is in a sense, they're like generic in the best way possible.
Okay.
Like it's horrible to call them generic, but they really are. They're just like the most generic metalcore. Like,
and it's okay.
They're very introductory to like the genre. Like you want to get into metalcore, you listen to like a Wage War, you listen to like an I Prevail, something like that.
Okay, well there you go. That makes sense.
They're very gateway.
They're a gate. Yeah, I was gonna say they're a gateway.
I think I even said that when we talked about the record because I was like, they're very, you know, yeah.
You have to listen to them before you listen to everybody else.
They'll get you into the really good stuff. But this album is honestly great. Like Godspeed, fucking phenomenal. So good. Every single song on this album is great. When I saw them live, though, they played I think Teeth was the unreleased song at the time.
Yeah.
And everyone just kind of looked at them and blinked when they were playing the song, because no one knew what was happening, and the song sounded really, at least to my ears, sounded very off when they were playing it.
Oh.
And that is still like one of those like what the fuck like live moments that I've had. And then the song came out, I was like, nah, this song rips. But like when I heard it live for the first time, because like everyone's like, I want you to hear my album live for the first time, and it was like, and I'm like, that's all well and good, but like I've heard songs for the first time live, and like that one always sticks out to me. Like I never want to hear a song live for the first time ever again. Like let me hear it in the studio first.
It's a horrible first impression.
Yeah. So
good. My number 6 is Doja Cat, Planet
Saw
Her.
that coming, yeah. I thought it'd be higher.
Good album. Honestly, I want it to be, but once you get into my top 5, it's like there's no way I could have put her any higher. Album, phenomenal. Doja, amazing. I love you. You're doing great. You're fantastic. She is the future of rap. She's doing good. She has a lot of potential, because on this album alone, like half the album are like TikTok songs that have just, it's not like she made them to do that. It's just like they found them and they're like, okay, this is a new trend, this is a new trend, this is a new trend. Exactly. And it's just like, and it's effortless, because I was looking back at what is it, Hot Pink, her last album, like half the songs on that one as well were TikTok songs, and I was like, there's no way she's this consistent with all of her songs. It's almost similar to what Lil Nas X was doing, where it's kind of like big songs, Industry, Baby Montero, they had, and what I want, the other song, the first single before the album dropped, where it's kind of like, we're gonna make these TikTok songs and then the whole album should follow along. Doja was able to do that with her album, because she had the biggest rap opening of, I think, 2021, biggest female rap opening of 2021. But Lil Nas just kind of fell off because it didn't have the same feeling throughout the entire album. Lil Nas was kind of just the same vibe and the same sound, but Doja really wrapped everything up and made it a solid, perfect album. Very good. I loved it.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I can tell you liked the record.
I did. I really did.
Yeah, I even thought that the album was pretty good, despite being like so anti-TikTok. Also spending like an hour and a half on it last night. I don't want to talk about it.
Are you on the Good Noise podcast account?
Yes, I don't have a personal. But I was up until 2 a.m. last night on TikTok.
It does that.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't mean to stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning, but here I am. I was on TikTok for most of it. It was like I went from TikTok to IG Reels to the Facebook version of IG Reels, and I was like, I can't do this. I have to like turn my phone off. Yeah,
I'm right now hooked onto the Reels on Instagram, because it's all like baking, and it's just I could use that icing tip next time, or it's everybody's doing it now, so it's like every app that I use has that feature, so it's like every app that I'm on now. Yes, I was stuck on those too. Yeah, because it was like I'm
trying my best to not get hooked on those.
Don't, dude. I was on the I was scrolling for like half an hour, and I was like, shoot, I'm on the Noise podcast YouTube. You're gonna see, like,
I love going on our YouTube sometimes, and like it's usually like music recommended shit and like interviews, because like I'll scout like what bands are doing what interviews and shit. Yeah. And then occasionally there will be like a baking video, or like how to fold like origami. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you folding origami on a Tuesday afternoon? Like, dude,
what I can't get away from now on our YouTube thing, I think it was me who started it, but for some, I watched one video, and now it's the only thing that's popping up on my side, is like, like the hoof on a horse, like pimples, like bumps can form there. So I watched one where it's just like a guy squeezing it, and like it was so gross. Ew. And it was like a big lump too. And now it's like all on my recommended for Good Noise podcast, and I'm like, I don't want to watch you pop a horse cyst now.
Oh my god.
Like that's so I'm haunted with that. You have origami, I have horse pimples. Yeah. Dude.
Why are you folding origami, Glory? What the
fuck I don't know.
But yeah, I love like looking at the history of like what's been watched, and like Glory was watching Brockhampton music videos and then went to watching how to pop horse pimples and then baking. Like, is this girl okay? Like, should I text her and see what's up? Like,
hey, you okay? So you've been watching horse pimple videos.
That was definitely you. I've never watched a horse pimple popping video in my life.
Dude, if you look, they're on the recommended. It's horrible.
I don't want to look. I don't want to. That's the thing.
It's bad.
Moving on from horse pimples, number 5 is Afterlife's Part of Me.
I saw that coming.
Yeah, spent so much time with this album when it came out. We chatted with Andrew to watch the interview.
That was a good one.
But yeah, the album's phenomenal. I was even like showing my like non-metal friends this record because I was like, there's like an emo rap song on here. Like, check this out.
You'll love it.
Yeah, and even they were like, oh wait, this is actually pretty cool.
Good.
Because they're like, show me the shit that you listen to. So like, I put on Lorna Shore, and they're like, this what the fuck is this? And then I put on Spirit Box, and they're like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, wait, I got something for you. And it was is it the title track?
It might be.
I gotta fucking one of the songs. Why the I went to Spotify on my phone and it crashed it and went black. So we're not gonna find out what song it was today.
Yeah, wait. Okay, do you want me to read the track list off? It's only 10.
I'm not gonna know the track list. I'm pissed off over the fact that my phone crashed when I opened the Spotify app. Yeah. All I did was open Spotify and press the search button.
Were you at 1%?
No, Glory, I don't live my life like you. My
I live
phone
life on
is
the
charged.
edge, dude. My phone's at 16% right
bro. Oh, it was Miles Away. That's
Miles
the song.
Away,
It's the song after the title track. That's why I was like, I think it might be the title track.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. My computer for that. Big brain.
There you go. Happy for you, dude. You're doing great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my phone turns on.
Yeah. It's just bricked now. That's it. Rest in peace. My number 5 is Origami Angel, Gami Gang.
Saw that.
Such a good album. It's just it's perfection. I listen the main tracks. I have like 4 main tracks off of it that I just have on repeat, considering it's a double LP, whatever you want to call it. It's 2 albums mashed into one. But every time I listen to the full album, I sit down and what is it, like an hour and a half? I don't know.
It's honestly not that long. I think it might just be like an hour.
I think so. Yeah. It's not Donda.
No.
But it's just when I sit down and listen to it, it's not like, oh god, let me skip this one just so I can get to the one song I want to listen to. The entire album could be that one song that I want to listen to, but it's just I've gotten hooked onto these 4. But phenomenal.
Phenomenal. I'm still here, so I hope my phone dies because
I think
seems to be stuck. Number 4 is Waterpark's Greatest Hits.
There you go.
There we go. It's nice and high on the list. Part of that being because I spent a lot of money on this album.
Too much money.
Too much.
Mm-hmm. But it's an investment.
It is an investment. Mm-hmm. That glow-in-the-dark one be selling for about what I paid for everything, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, well, that's like what people are listing it for. Whether or not it's selling for that,
that's
two completely things. But like, it's not even the rarest one that came out, but people just want it so bad because it was like the first thing that dropped off for the record.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got all of them. I got the red one out of 300. They misprinted a bunch of the orange vinyls and made a bunch of translucent ones. Sam was able to get me one for Christmas. I've officially got every single one because like the signed vinyls were supposed to just be tangerine with like a signed print, and you pay like double for it, and it was dumb. But I was like, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
And then like half of they sent out 500. It was out of 1,000. They sent out 500, or like we'll send out the other 500 in a second. You know, we're out of vinyl or whatever. Yeah. And I guess the ones that they rush printed, they fucked up in the factory and were translucent, and they restocked them really quick. And Sam was like, I bought you this for Christmas. We're gonna see if it's translucent or not, so you don't spend an arm and a leg for it. Like, thanks. And yesterday I opened it and I was like, hey, look, guess what? It's translucent. I like flipped out. I was like, hell yeah, I got them all now.
Perfect.
So I've officially got every single release
of
for that album. Spent a lot of money doing it, but and the album, I wound up liking it, so that's a good thing too. I spent a lot of time with the record over the past several months. My phone finally turned on. Let's go. For anybody just tuning in now, I bricked it when I opened up the fucking Spotify app.
Dude, you're saying if anybody tuned in now, dude, it's not live.
If anybody skipped
for like our top three.
From like now you're like what why the fuck is he like my phone finally turned on. His phone, I locked it up a couple days a couple seconds ago. Phenomenal record though.
Phenomenal. Yeah, honestly, good record. B-side just not the best. My number 4 is Ice Nine Kills Welcome to Horrorwood, the Silver Scream 2.
Nice.
This album, phenomenal. Rainy Day. I didn't like the other singles that were pushed out because I think 2 others were put out. And I was like, wow, these are too heavy. Wow. Rainy Day. There's something in that song that was just, you say that Wage War is like the gateway to like whatever genre this is. Rainy Day did that for me because I listened to it and I was like, okay, this is good. Then the album came out. I listened to the entire thing twice while it was on the podcast playlist. And I was like, okay, I don't know what happened because these songs aren't as heavy anymore. So I'm hoping it doesn't spread. I'm hoping it's the last metal album because I can't handle that. I can't handle another genre.
Yes, you can.
But it's very good. It's a very good album. I love it so much. It's so good.
Where's gonna become a metalcore stand? Suddenly she's gonna
Please
like
don't.
new metal.
No.
Like Limp Bizkit and Fred Durst and Korn. Man, I love these bands, bro.
I will not be you.
I will not be you. Now we're getting into the top three, bro. Mine's probably pretty predictable. I still don't know what Glory's is. Number 3 for me is Dead School of Thought. We talked to Joe. This album fucking amazing. Took away all the attention from Ice Nine Kills album for me because it came out on the same day. I've been waiting a long fucking time for this album to come out. I got hooked on Dead in 2019 when I saw them with In This Moment and Motionless in White. And I was like, because I checked them out like the day of the show and I was like, fuck, I wish I listened to this band sooner because I was like, I am so stoked on them.
And then you got to talk to them.
And then we got to talk to them and I saw them a couple weeks later for the second time with Black Veil Brides. And In This Moment again, but I didn't stay that long. In This Moment sucks shit, but now's not the time for that speech. This album's fucking phenomenal. There's something in it. My only gripe is that they put out half the album singles and then gave you a cover at the beginning, so the first like 5 or 6 songs on the album is all singles plus that cover, and then the last 4 or so songs on the album are new tracks. But all in all, very good record. Hell yeah. My Fred Durst impression.
Oh, does he say that?
Hell yeah.
I've never heard his voice before. Is that like what he sounds like?
Hell yeah. Well, that's what he sounds like in like the old Limp Bizkit shit. Like when he goes, hell yeah.
Wow. I've never heard his voice.
Hell yeah.
I've only heard like his singing voice, which can be,
all over the place.
Yeah. My top 3, my third album is Silk Sonic and Evening with Silk Sonic. You saw that coming?
Now I do that you said it.
Yeah. I've been listening to it a lot. And every single song on this, phenomenal, flawless. I wouldn't change a thing. The intro to this album, it's an album. It's just it's so good. It's so, dude, give it up for Bootsy Collins, man. It's so good. I love this album so much. It's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Album's pretty good, yeah. The album's pretty good. Yeah. I really hope your number 1 is Louis Tomlinson's album from last year.
God, I wish he dropped another album. He keeps saying, album 3 is on the way. And I'm like, just drop it already, dude. Sorry, 2. It would be 2. Anyways.
Number 2 is Limp Bizkit Still Sucks.
Yeah, they do.
Oh my god, this album, bro, it's so good. I actually fucking hated it when it first came out, but I was like, you should. I am a Limp Bizkit stan. I have to like this shit. So I do. I love it now.
Do they have vinyls?
Not yet. They've talked about it possibly happening. God only knows. They've dropped no physical media with the album. Didn't really promote it either, but since they're Limp Bizkit, they can just fucking do that because the press did all the work for them.
Because they're like, oh, Limp Bizkit's alive again.
Yeah, and everyone's like, holy shit, Limp Bizkit's back. Plus, like, they did the Lollapalooza performance, and everyone was like, "Holy shit, I give a shit about Limp Bizkit again." So
yeah, for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, phenomenal record. I was so fucking good. Listen to it every couple of days. Turn it up, bitch. It's like every single person's list, like album rank or song ranking lists for this album. It's like it's always so low, that song. I'm like, it's their best fucking song on this album.
No way. You got dad vibes.
Turn it up, bitch. Everybody needs some hardcore fucked up bang your head shit. Just turn it up, bitch.
No way that just happened, dude.
It's so good. It's so good. It's like 2.5 minutes. It's quick. It's in there and out of there real quick. It's right after dad vibes. It's so good. So good.
Well, okay. You know? Okay. That's fine. I'm happy you like it. My number 2 is Safe Face, another kill for the highlight reel.
Now it's all starting to click.
There you go.
That album came out for a hot second there.
Dude, I was surprised that it wasn't in your honorable mentions.
It's honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Because I just said I kind of like forgot it came out because I was like, the album's really good, and then I was like, it's
very good.
It's like it's good, but it's like not something I know if I would come back to. Because I was supposed to see them live, with Mom Jeans, so like that was when I was gonna be like, yo, like really get into it, because their set list was just half the album. So I was like, that's when
they had one song from.
Yeah, that's when I was
Mercy.
like, I'll really get into the record then, and then that show didn't happen, so I just kind of was like, well, whoops. So, yeah, we talked to Tyler though.
We did. That was very cool. I liked that one a lot. That's easily one of my favorite interviews. It was just so pleasant.
And there's still that. I'm scared to open Spotify on my fucking phone again. Let me pull it up on my computer.
The perks of
that song,
not being able to see yourself.
Yep. Oh my god, the perks of not being able to see your reflection.
Reflection. There you go.
Is for some reason one of the lowest streamed songs on the record. Clocking in at 20,000 streams. It's the best song on the album. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if that's a hot take. I don't give a shit.
Mean, it's a good song, but the opener is the best song because it paints a picture, and it's so good.
The album is great. It honestly is. But like when I heard that song, we had this little Dropbox with the album in it. And I finished the record and I went back and I listened to that song like 4 or 5 more times. I'm like, this is phenomenal. And if like I just like, even Tyler was like, yeah, it's it's not my favorite. Like, dude, it's got to be like on the set list. Like, you got to push the shit out of the song. And he's like, it's a song that I put on the record, but like I like other songs. And I'm like, listen, bro, I'm in the band now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm your manager now. You will do this. Oh my god! But I just want to say, Tyler, if you're listening, for the movement? It's not Movements.
Who
are they touring with?
The Wonder Years.
The Wonder Years Gami tour. I need you to open the set with the opening track because it has the build up. I could see it on stage, and I just need you to open with that track.
Where are your managers now?
I'm looking you in the eye. Do it, please. Because it would be perfect.
True. Yeah. All right. And my number 1, Architects. For those that wish to exist. Oh my god. Who would have saw this coming? This is the album that I was referring to when I said that the Love and Death album and this record was like the one that carried me through that lull at the beginning of 2021, because Architects also put out this album at the beginning of the year. But it's fucking great. I don't care. It like back actually in our 2020 episode, I had said like both the singles that they put out in 2020 were like some of my favorite songs from the year, despite them coming out so late. And I might have even said like I think this album is going to be on my list somewhere.
I'm pretty sure you did, yeah.
So here it is. It's number 1. Definitely a departure from their sound, but it really propelled me into like a big Architects phase. And what I spent a big chunk of my 2021 listening to was this band. Phenomenal record. I'm pissed I didn't get to see them in September, but they postponed it to next year. We'll see if it happens next September. So yeah, but fucking great album. I don't care. Best album this year. That's my take.
It was a very good album. For the one time I listened to it, I did like it a lot. So that's fair. My number one is Tyler the Creator, Call Me If You Get Lost.
Whoa, who saw that one coming? Whoa.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
I saw you listen to like 4 or 5 times yesterday.
Yeah, the entire thing all the way through. I don't know what happened. It just I put it on because I was like, oh, I could listen to this. I could listen to Corso once, and the entire album just kept playing afterwards. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna turn it off during what's the song that I wouldn't turn it off during? I don't know, Lumberjack. I'm not gonna turn it off after Lumberjack, and it just kept going. And I was like, oh, Lumberjack again? Didn't I just then an hour?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So it's a very good album, and I love it a lot. I didn't really like it that much on the first listen because I was like, this is different. But then I was like, wait a second. Wait a minute. This is very good. So
fair enough.
Good album.
Well, those are our lists. If you're a band that had to sift through to see us talk about your shit for 30 seconds, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And if you're either a band or just someone listening, let us know what you think about our opinions.
Yeah,
give us your opinion on our opinions.
Yeah.
That would be right? Pretty cool.
Are we wrong?
Are takes bad? They probably are.
No.
And tell us what your album of the year is.
Yeah.
Your top 10. Send them to us. That'd be pretty cool. Right now, actually.
Right now. If you're listening
recording
to
this on Monday the 27th. And you should send them to us right now on Monday the 27th. You won't see this until January 1st.
January 1st.
But you should send them to us right now.
Right now. And if you didn't, you are a fake fan. And that's it. Yep. You suck.
So you can follow us on Twitter. It's good_noise_cast. You can follow us on Instagram. It's Good Noise Podcast. Facebook is Good Noise Pod. YouTube is Good Noise Podcast. Spotify, every other streaming service ever is Good Noise Podcast. Spotify, you can go fucking rate us. Give us 5 stars.
That'd be pretty cool.
So we're gonna be number 1 on the Spotify algorithm.
Yeah.
Bandcamp is goodnoiserecords.bandcamp.com. You missed the hoodies, probably. We haven't pulled them down yet. At the time of recording, but we got to pull them down at some point. We got to get those orders in. So
yeah,
if they're not down yet, go buy one. And Patreon is patreon.com/goodnoisepodcast. We've got your Patreon supporters.
Thank you to our Patreon supporters: my brother, my uncle Matt from Pulses, Jeremy, Brady, Zarian, Eric.
Thanks, guys.
You guys rock. You guys are great, and thank you so much. Important plugs. Black Lives Matter. Nothing's changed with that. Still do. Yeah. Stop Asian hate. Don't be a jerk. Just be a good person for once in your life. That's all I gotta say.
Nice.
Oh, get your vaccine. Wear a mask. I would like the music scene to not die.
Crumble.
Again.
As it currently is.
Yeah, because I have like 5 concerts and a festival next year, and I would, I don't really want to lose those. So yeah, wear a mask if you're going to a show. Get your vaccine if you can. Get boosted if you haven't already. I could go on, but nice. I won't.
All right. Well, I have been Shane.
I have been Glory. Wait, is it season 6?
I recorded it with the orange background, but we can change that.
Okay.
In post. It's okay.
Okay. All right. Happy season 6.
Happy season 6. We'll see you when we see you.
Yeah.
We've been the Good Noise Podcast. Bye.
Bye.